Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Count Christo and this is the Imperial British campaign. In this episode, we are prepping for a naval invasion of Italy. It will be tough. It will be a long and hard and drawn out campaign, but I have every faith that we can see it through. One thing we're going to need to do, once we've finished our many naval upgrades that we're currently working on, is invent something I've never ever used before, which is amphibious tanks and amphibious people carriers, whatever you want to call these. Amtrak battalions. So we will research those next, which we can do quite cheaply and quite quickly, because we have some research bonuses for them, which is always nice. I'm going to save, because the game seems to be grinding to a halt, and I don't want it to crash on me. Good. America, in the last episode, was once again reunited. It was made whole. Well, not quite, because there's 3 provinces down here. But I am now confident that the Americans and the various assembled allied armies that are placing themselves down here will be able to regain control of the situation. Do I want to do this first or the landers first? I think I want to do the landers first. So we're going to start working on those. We are fighting a desperate battle for control of the skies above the channel. We're doing pretty darn well, despite having substantially fewer planes in the air. They are doing their very best to hit us here. I'm basically flying the swordfish down here just to give the enemy something to shoot at. I'm not really expecting to hit much enemy shipping in the area. Oh, darn. One of those research bonuses was for the... That is fair enough. I have no idea how useful these landing tanks are going to be, by the way, but I expect the Italian ports to be highly defended. And you know, I want to try them out, right?
Orders.
Oh, is there no divisions here because there's 2 armies here? 2 orders here. That's the problem. There we go.
Listen up.
Alright, which means if I delete this, might be down to no empty orders. Right, one over here. Fix that. I think that's all of them. No. One over here. Now that's all of them. Yeah. Cool. Meanwhile, I think we have the same problem here. Ah! There we go. And just that one over here. Okay, which means... Look at that. No empty order alerts. That is glorious. It's been months. Not literally months. But it's been a long while. We're gaining control of the situation over the skies here. I mean, if you look at our win-loss ratio in these engagements where they hit my fleet, it's not looking too bad. I mean, some of them are pretty freaking bad. Look at that. We do have terrible naval bombers still. It's definitely something we could do with working on. In fact, I think it's what I will work on right now. We have some nice bonuses, so we should be able to get them pretty fast. We're going to wait till we've finished all of the module research, and then we're going to do another kind of wave of upgrading the ships that we're deploying. In case you were wondering about that. We could also start working on tack bombers to get long-range naval bombers, basically. The naval attack is quite a bit lower, and the naval targeting is just rubbish. So no, I think I'm going to stick with naval bombers, actually. We could build strategic bombers. I don't think that's necessary. I would love offensive formations, but I think it's not going to happen. Final bit of radar to just get maximum coverage across like all of freaking Europe. We don't actually have any radar down here, goodness me. Let's whack a radar in Malta. Let's max the radar in Cairo. That should give us good coverage over here and over here. If France would give me this spot, that would be great for building a radar on. Preparation for the invasion of this chap. Spain, that's the one. So I think I'm going to give France... right, I'm also going to save, because I may save scum this. You should be able to say, hey France, I'll give you these territories in exchange for these. But you can't, so I'm going to give him control of some states without any knowledge of whether or not he's actually going to then give me control of some states, which I don't like. My God, look at the world right now. The amount of land that we have that's occupied right now is here, here. That might be it. Oh, and here. That's insane. Well, here, France, have control of this area. And then give me control of the rest. No? They still think we hold an unfair quantity of occupied territory. Alright, well, I am going to reload that because I really feel like there should be a way to tell beforehand. For example, one way you could do it would be making that number not minus 1,000. There's a couple of things in diplomatic things in Hoi where it's just either like a yes or a no. It's very unhelpful compared to the kind of diplomatic feedback you get in EU4 where it's like, you know, yeah, we don't like the idea, but we could be persuaded. You know, it's minus like 27, and you can know what the maths is for what makes it 27 rather than 26. Whereas when it's minus 1,000 or plus 1,000, it's just like, well, you know, what do I do with this information? It doesn't help me make any strategic decisions. Anyway, it's enough complaining.
Come on.
You guys are going to come home, and then you're going to exercise.
Orders.
You guys actually got driven back a step, unfortunately, while we were busy taking this one. So we'll redeploy, see if we can grab that again. It's mountainous, though. So maybe instead we'll stay put, perhaps planning to push in here.
Ready, sir.
I'm going to pull the tanks back from the front. It's just not sustainable to have them in this kind of supply area. So I'll move them back, and then perhaps we'll take this area by launching a amphibious landing craft invasion of Hong Kong. We'll see. If they start buckling in the east, we'll have to deploy more men to this area, but until then, we will we'll wait and see. So over here,
Ready,
you
sir.
guys, basically all of you guys make up. Are these guys deployed anywhere other than the Soviet border? No. Okay. So you guys, let's take a look at recent casualties. We've actually lost 56,000 in the last 12 months. That surprises me. In the last 3 months, however, 6,000. Okay, our win rate is 98%. Repair yards, that's excellent. Mine laying tech? Could we do with more mine laying tech? Yeah, wouldn't hurt. More naval mine damage. We could start naval mine sweeping with bombers and mine laying with bombers, which could be fun. Convoy defense doctrine isn't going to help us much. What do I want? Oh yeah, 1 research bonus from motorized. Perfect. And then we can spend it on improved Amtrak. Ideal. I assume that's in the motorized tree. I mean, it's sitting to the right. It's in the mobile infantry bit, so you would really think so. It's good that we see these kind of attacks. It looks like it's really not going to go our way, based on the number anyway. But actually, we're doing great work. Oh, nice. And
Ready, sir.
this guy... Excuse me. That's the one I'm looking for. This guy is ready for infantry expert. No, he's already got it. You, my good man, are ready for infantry expert. Great. Looking good. Free the shipyards. We could actually be building more shipyards right now. I think that's what I'll do once we complete our massive anti-air project. This sounds a lot like Divinity 2. Oh, not quite, though. Right, so what else do I want to build? Well, have I got my naval tech finished? Just light battery hasn't finished yet. So, I guess I'll temporarily ramp up minor production. And then we'll drop that again in a second. Good. Okay, tanks have arrived home. I'm going to go through some exercises.
Attention.
A few of them aren't quite here yet, but they're getting there. These tanks looking pretty sweet now. Look at that. Oh, and there's another 14. Look at that.
Listen up.
28 tanks. Looking good. Looking very, very good. Nice. Is he the right guy to lead this? With 2 attack? He doesn't feel like it. Who else could... Oops. Who else could take up the mantle, though? Lise is in charge of some other tanks. Neil in charge of some other tanks. Maybe Dempsey? Oh, he's only got level 2 skill, though. Heinrich. I need someone with better skill, ideally. That's the problem. They all got, lots of them have good stats, but bad skill. Unfortunately. Oh, well. I think they're... this guy will train up. Plus, he has a cool beard.
Ready, sir.
So 4 of these tanks
Ready, sir.
are going to be split off and sent... Where? They're going to be sent to the Chinese army. This much I know. I guess I'll put them like here. And we are going to take out Siam. They've got some dockyards that I wouldn't mind working for me. So we're going to start justifying on them. It's going to cost some political power, but that's okay. We can absorb a little bit of a political power spend. What is going on with that soundtrack? It sounds awful. Let's have Stellaris, shall we? It's lovely. Lovely Stellaris soundtrack. Okay, we lost something. No, they lost a ship. Good. You still got 10 ships by any chance? No, up to 14 or 15. Wow, get them. Meanwhile... Right, it's the other thing I want to focus tech on. I want to get better subs. So we can raid more effectively. We are angered by Siamese posturing. We really are. They keep asking us to recall our attaché to the Chinese, which is just ridiculous. You could do with the traits. Yes, I would love... I mean, maybe Lone Wolf, because the Japanese have a lot of ships. But I'm going to go with Destroyer Leader to start with. And then Loading Drill Master. Just send out crazy amounts of torpedoes, basically. How much are we getting a day? 0.5? Not bad. It's not a great amount. It's not bad. So he is level 7 now. This is my avatar on the forums, by the way. So I like this guy. It's my avatar before I knew who he was. But it turns out he's a great admiral, too. So that's fun. Yes, you can have this. And then I think I'll give him Lone Wolf and Smokescreen to help him retreat from the... Oh, no, because he should really get... He should learn Air Controller, and then I'd give him Flight Deck Manager and Fighter Director. Probably. Yeah, that's what we should do. So I'll save those last 2 trait slots for that. Okay. We're looking pretty weak down here, but their attacks are looking pretty feeble too, so hopefully we'll be okay. Alright, there is some sub-action. I like having a Special Forces army, by the way. It's fun, thematically. And you are a naval invading army, so we'll do you like that. You should be blue, and you need naval invader commander, preferably. What about this guy? I know he's being used somewhere else. Can't for the life of me remember where, though. It looks like he was commanding one of the armies on the Soviet front. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, does it? As a naval command, a naval invader. This guy's got perfectly good across-the-board stats. Good. So we got 2 armies of Marines. One of which is full, and so she'll start training. The other one I will start training. Don't want to cancel that. Once it's full. So they all finish at the same time. Because I won't be wanting to deploy the army until it's full anyway, so... He doesn't need 8 more men. He needs 9 more, right? No, he needs 6 more. Ah, but you are not a right guy. You go down here. So now he needs 8 more. Good. And as soon as you're ready, hop up in there. Superb. I'm just going to turn this down slightly. There we go. And you guys can all get cancelled. Cool. Which gives us infantry surplus, maybe? Not quite. Better subs. Better subs. Okay, so we've got all our naval bits and bobs. Well, not quite, so we get better radar, but it's not for 118 days. So, do some upgrading, shall we? Scout, you get better depth charges, and better torps, and better torps, and better guns. And is there a second level? There is not a second level dual purpose. Okay, and I think better radar as well. Not quite. Which makes you a 1944 Scout MK2. Save it up. Now, screens. You get bigger guns, better anti-sub, more torps, bigger guns, and more torps. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Which makes you 1944 screen, Mark II. Save it up. And we now have the bits and bobs to make this guy the best that he can be. Gonna make these, I think I'm gonna make these cheaper actually. More light attack. Because we're facing almost exclusively light ships. And then in the east, we're mostly facing light ships with carriers. So making it cheaper so we can have more of them. Get better screening for our carriers. And doing plenty of damage to enemy air seems better to me. MK2 and better armor. It's the big, big part of that upgrade. Secondary is still dual purpose, I think. How much would we be losing? It's only 2. But it's actually less light attack as well. Apparently, dual purpose secondaries save it up. Is that right? Dual purpose secondaries are better at everything? It seems unlikely, but okay. Cool. And then the heavy line ship as well, of course, needs urgently that very big armor. The heavy cruiser batteries. And this is where we bring in our heavy attack. This is where we're... In fact, yeah, I'm going to put a 3rd medium battery on there. This is where we bring the pain to the enemy. You can only get level 2 on that. You could have a level 3 radar. That's correct, that's correct. Dual purpose secondaries. Safe. Sweet. This is actually the Mark II. Just made that correct. Why not? Okay. Now, I'm going to want 2 screens. I'm going to want 3 on line cruisers. Okay, so these old ones are going to get replaced by 1s. We're going to reduce minor production quite substantially. So it's going to be November of 46 before I'm ready to face the Japanese. That's the time frame we've got to work with in terms of building our other ships. These ones, given full shipyards, can be done by August. Okay. So that's... We can't run this twice. No, it's 47 on some of them. February 47. Yeah, okay. So we'll be able to build, with a full queue on this, we'll be able to build 2 of these by the time it's go time. So we'll be able to have 4 battleships, 6 heavy cruisers making up essentially our... Sorry, 4 CVs, 6 heavy cruisers making up our battleships, and then all the rest will be handled by, obviously, the rest of these fine chaps. Good. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good enough to me. 6 modern battleships and 4 modern carriers. I think we'll be able to take out the Japanese with that. Yeah. Yeah, he says, trying to convince himself more than the audience. Okay. So ramp up the numbers here. Now, we're looking at probably 3 lines of scouts, 2 lines of screens, if I had to guess. Now all these except for 1. And 2 of them, 1 scout, 1 scout, 1 screen, goes to the Mediterranean Reserve. Exquisite! Okay, that looks good to me. Obviously, as all these finish, they will automatically cease production. Good. I think that should be sufficient. We will see. Right, so let's just check this factory assignments right. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines coming out, using 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, so we've got 1 spare, there's some in repairing right now. Perfect. So if I tone down raiders by 2 factories, then we should be just about balanced. Okay, and we're going to need a whole bunch more iron. So much more that I think it's actually going to start becoming a problem again, which is funny. Oh dear. It's alright, we can deal with this. Just import all the iron for now. Okay, oh yeah, for God's sake, stop importing the oil. We have just crazy quantities of oil now that we're no longer on free trade. Good, and the anti-air is being powered up across the country, giving us this superb defense. So let's see, are they still bombing us here? They're actually, they appear to have given up on bombing us here. They're just focusing on fighting us over the channel. That being the case, let's move more fighters down over the channel. I want 200 on each air zone at least, though. I think. But yeah, for now, that looks good. Outdated equipment. We are producing the scouts and the screens, of course. Yes, this is known. This is not a problem. So we're going to be out of iron again. Now we're producing these modern ships, which is annoying. But what you're going to do, we are full on infantry equipment again. So what I'm going to do, at least one of the things I'm going to do, is first off, I'm going to make sure the infantry equipment is still at the bottom of the list, which is not. And I'm going to tone down that substantially to permit for a lot more ship production. Good. And we have 100 spare iron, essentially, because of that change. Lovely. I take out another 10 factories on that. We're looking great on medium tank production now, anyway. Like, we have all the tanks. We probably have all the tanks we're ever going to need in terms of just supply limitations. Okay, anything else I could be doing? Oh, you might be asking why you're building 20 width Marines, by the way. It's because you can only deploy a number of Marines based on battalion count. So we're going to have the same number of Marines deployed doing it this way. It's just that I'm able to assign them, like, have more fine-tuned control over where they go. What else? I could do with more fighters are my main limiter, I think, right now. And we've got plenty of room in the aluminium imports. In fact, yeah, my fighters are such a main limiter that I'm going to go ham on them a bit. Like this. And like this and this. And this. Good. Now I'm going to need a bunch of aluminium, please, US. Excuse me, US. Please and thank you. Give me a bunch of aluminium. Sometimes this button just doesn't work, and I don't know why. There we go. Good. And let's not over-import steel. Let's not over-import steel, though. See, the thing is, let's not over-import steel. Good. Okay, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We have assembled a mighty production queue. We're going to build some glorious ships. We're going to go forth and we're going to conquer, and it's going to be magnificent. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.